So, but I want to talk about free speech because it's something that you and I talk about pretty often, and frankly is very controversial, right? I still struggle to understand why it's controversial, but it is in Santa Rosa County. You would think, that is a largely conservative area, right? That people would understand and appreciate this, but it is because I constantly see efforts to shut down free speech, and the simple concept from the Bill of Rights is that people have the right to speak their mind. Like, imagine that.
Yeah.
Like, people have the right to form an opinion and to articulate it, right or wrong, left or right, conservative, right, or liberal, Republican, Democrat. They have the right to say what they want to say. What a wild and crazy idea.
Yeah, one thing that I've always said is, I'm one of the ones like you, I'm sure. I will stand up for your right to say whatever you want to say, even if I don't like it or agree with it. I will stand up for your right to say it when other people attack you for saying it, because you're an American citizen.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though I don't agree with what you may be saying or putting it out there, you're the one that's going to have to deal with the repercussions of
Right.
what you're saying. But I'm going to stand up for your right to say that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to shut you down just because I don't like what you're saying or you're hurting my feelings. No.
Right.
No, you're an American citizen. Say what you're going to say. I'm going to stand there and help you and get that message out there. And that's another thing I've always done. I would let anybody put their message out there, whether I liked it or not. And that's
Right.
the way it should be. Like I said, at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to have to deal with what you're saying. But I would hope one day, if I need to say something and somebody was knocking me down for saying it, I would hope that you would in turn return the favor of standing up for my right to say it.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. Man,
Right.
it's aggravating.
But there's constant controversies in Santa Rosa County
Yes.
over this. As you see people in positions of power, right? For example, we've got a county commissioner who's trying to sue a business owner because he's making fun of him, right? And it's just like, what? Like,
okay, I know you're talking about
Chris Smith, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because he's, being satirical about
Right.
him and all that stuff, he's coming up after him, right? Like, we see often there is an effort to try to stamp out a person's free speech because we don't like what they're saying. And I deal with it, man. I get all kinds of people who are either misinformed about what we're trying to do, or they just have an opinion on it that's different than what I'm saying.
Right.
And they go out there and bash me and attack me and say all kinds of things that are untrue. Sure, it hurts your feelings.
Oh,
of
yeah,
course it
of
hurts
course,
your
you're a
feelings.
human being.
But again, that's their right. The difference is I've also got the right to clear my name and to defend myself, and
Right.
sometimes they hate that. Sometimes they can't stand that. Or
I
maybe
just want you to shut up and
Yeah.
take the beating and like the beating. No,
Right.
no, absolutely not. You have the right, like you said, to defend yourself just as they have the right to say it.
Yeah.
And you have the right to put the facts out there on it, and
Yeah.
that's the way it should be. They can say all they want, but don't get mad when I stand up and I defend myself about what you said or correct you on what you said.
Right.
You know.
Now the challenge with it is not everybody's on the same playing field.
Right.
So when you get into journalism, like you were talking about, you get into newspapers and things like that.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, now one person's got a megaphone and the other person doesn't.
Right.
So help me with that, because you've been doing this for a minute. How does that work? For journalists, for people that are doing what you're doing, is there a higher calling to that? Like, what is the left and rights of that? Are journalists and people that are interviewing folks, are you called to a higher standard in terms of truth and clarity and all that?
I don't know about them. Me personally, like I said, I believe my job is to simply put the information out there, treat everyone fairly, treat everyone the same, right down the middle. Don't sit there and push one agenda or push one idea, and knock another one just because you don't like the person or you're getting paid by this person or whatever. Simply put the information out there. Treat everyone the same. It's not that hard. Don't try to shove your agenda down people's throats and get them to like, who you like and hate who you hate.
Yeah.
Put the stuff out there. People are smart. They can see through a bunch of bull crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put all the information out there. Treat everyone fairly, and let them decide. And let the cards fall where they're gonna fall.
Right.
Good grief! Can you imagine if our media had done that from the top to the local level?